So now once you reach to virtual lab, so I was telling you about the virtual lab. So virtual lab is a platform that is totally free to use. Okay. And over here, it has been designed in such a way that a user, they can learn and understand a particular concept on their own. Also, they can do certain innovative things over here, and the virtual labs will give them a safer option. Best part of this particular lab is that it is totally free to use. As a user, you do not need to pay even a single penny. And these labs are available 24 into 7, anytime, anywhere. So now, so blab.co.in. Okay, now let us see that how you can explore the various labs and experiments over here. Now this is our logo. Over here we have a small search engine. So if you are specifically looking for any of a particular lab, you please
Hello,
start
Pratik.
typing the name of
Hello,
that.
Pratik. Pratik.
Yes, please.
Nothing is visible on the screen. Nothing is visible on the screen.
Are all the participants able to see my screen?
Anybody else?
Okay. Now over here, there would be a drop down list, and from over here you can select the lab which you are looking for. Now once you scroll it down, you can see we have the other options like home, about us, our newsletters, the new lab development, and become a nodal center, the outreach portal. So I'll come back to these particular points in the later part. If you scroll it down, as a user, you want to learn more what is virtual labs, what are the objectives, you can simply refer to these points over here, the philosophy and even the salient features. Now, as we scroll down, so these are the broad areas in which the virtual labs have been developed till now. Okay, so we have more than 100 virtual labs developed in all these disciplines, okay, collectively. So each lab has almost 5 to 6 experiments. So to be precise, we have more than 500 virtual experiments for the users. And once you scroll it down, these are the participating institutes. So we have the 12 participating institutes that act as a consortium member, and most of the labs have been developed by these institutes. So IIT Delhi is the main coordinating institute, and then we have the other 6 IITs and other esteemed universities. Now, let us see that how we can explore the various labs. Now, let me quickly start. So for example, as a user, I want to perform a lab from electronics and communication. So what I'll do, I'll simply click on electronics and communication. As soon as I click on electronics and communication, I have the labs that are ready for use. You can see you have a name of a particular lab. We have this particular list. For example, I have this virtual electric circuit lab. Okay. Now you see there's a name of this particular lab, and it has been developed by, for example, Amrita Vishwa Vidyapita. Also, just below it, we have the reference book, that which book a user can refer to, and also the syllabus mapping of which all university the syllabus has been covered. Also, you can see the NPTEL video lectures. So for the theoretical knowledge of this particular labs, okay, the student can refer to over here the NPTEL video lectures, and for the practical one, they can simply go over here. So let us start performing this virtual electric circuit lab. I'll simply click on that. Okay, first of all, I selected my discipline, then I selected my lab, and now over here, we have the list of experiments in front of us. So you can see as we scroll down, we have this Kirchhoff's law. I'll click on it. So most of the experiments in the virtual labs have been developed in a complete learning management system. Why do we say so? Because you see over here, we have the various tabs. The very first tab is the theory tab. Now theory tab will guide the user what is KCL, what is KVL, and with the help of certain examples, we'll try to make sure that the student understand this particular concepts. After that, we have the procedure part. So in the procedure part, we have the components that have been used, and a small procedure is given that how a user can perform it. Now let us come to the simulator. Okay, every participant, please listen to me very carefully. In certain of the labs, you might require to log in. I repeat myself, in certain of the labs, you might require to log in. Now you have, as a user, you have two options. Either you can freely sign up, or else you can simply click on the login option, and simply sign in using your open ID such as Google IDs. So once you click on this Google, enter your credentials, and there here comes a simulator window. One more thing, please remember that Adobe Flash Player and Java plugins must be enabled while you are performing the experiments on Virtual Labs platform. I repeat, Adobe Flash Player and the Java plugins. These two things must be enabled in your system. Now, what I'll do, I'll simply, you can see we have a simulator over here, and I'll simply go into this maximize mode. Okay. Now you see, please understand the simulator. This is a very basic concept, and I hope most of the participants, they tend to study the KVL in their first year itself. Now we have this visual option over here. Now in this visual options, we have select view. Now you see, these are the components present. Now right now our view is selected as lifelike. So I can see the component of switch, bulb, resistor and all. If I'll go for the schematic one, you'll see the change in the components. Okay, so it is basically for the students so that they could correlate the components. Next comes the circuit tab. Now, if while making a particular circuit, if you are somewhere stuck, you can simply go for the reset, and again you would be starting from scratch. Lastly, we have the advanced option. Now, this option is over there so that you can enter your own values into these particular components. Now, we want to verify the KVL. For that, we have this battery. I'll take my mouse over there. I'll click, drag, and drop. Now you see, every component would be having the two endpoints. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll again take a resistor. I'll click, drag, and drop. Remember, you need to click, drag it out, and drop it over here. Now after that, you can see two endpoints. Click on one endpoint of the component. You can simply rotate it out. Same goes with the battery. Okay. After that, you need to take the wires. Go for wire, click, drag and drop. Now you see, wire also again has a two endpoints. Now what you'll do, you'll click on one endpoint of the wire and take it to the other endpoint of the component. Now if you focus very carefully, there's a small color change. Now as soon as your connection is established, this color of the wire turns into black, and this particular thing indicates that your connection is successfully established. Okay, so we have made our circuit over here. Now what I'll do, I'll simply go for the visual part. Okay, now in the visual part, we have an option of show values. So you can simply click on show values.
Visible nahi hai,
so the values. So values are over there. You can see what are the values that have already been entered into these components. You want to modify these values, you can do that. For example, you want to change the value of the resistor, simply click on the resistor. You are taken into the advanced option. Yes, please.
Sir, whatever you are saying is clear, but you are not visible.
Is my screen visible?
No. Your screen is not visible.
Okay, now?
No, not. Now it's visible.
Is it visible?
Yeah.
Okay, so please tell me if you face any queries. I'll just again start sharing the screen. Okay.
Actually,
so
please, I'm requesting you to please draw the circuit again. Actually, we haven't seen anything.
Sure, no issues. I hope the screen is visible now.
Yep.
Okay, so you see now this particular lab we are performing the Kirchhoff voltage law, and we are this in electronics and communication discipline, and we have this lab virtual electric circuit lab. Now the very first option we have is the visual option, in which we can select the view. Now you see these are the components that are present over here. Now if I go for the schematic view, you can see the components are changed as the user draw into the physical lab files. And if I click on the lifelike, it is somewhat we see in the real life. Next options comes out to be the circuit one. In the circuit, there's an option of preset. So if you are just making a particular circuit, and if you are stuck somewhere, So you want to start from again from the scratch, so you can simply click on the reset part. So let us make a circuit. So for that, we have these components. What we'll do, we'll click on a battery, click, drag and drop. Similarly, we'll take the resistors, click, drag and drop, click, drag and drop. So you see every component has two endpoints. Okay, you can click on one endpoint of them and you can simply rotate it out. Similarly, case goes with the battery as well. Now, to make the connections, we have the wires over here. Simply click, drag and take the wires. And similarly, wire also has a two endpoints. So what you'll see, click on one endpoint of the wire and take it to the other endpoint of the component. And if you observe very carefully, as soon as you take it to the other component, okay, now there is a color change in the wire. And this color change indicates that yes, your connection is successfully established. Now also, we have simply just made a connection. Now in the visual part, we have this view, show values, okay, and as a user you can see the values that are entered into these particular components. Now for example, as a user, you want to modify the value. Say for example, I want to change the value of this resistor. What I'll do, I'll simply click on that particular component and I'm taken into the advanced option you see over here. Now, after that, we have two options. Either we can use the slider or we can just enter the value manually. So I'll use the slider right now, click and just modify the values. So you see the exact numerical value, whatever we have over here is being entered into this particular component. And you can also see a change in the color coding. Similarly, you can do it for the other components as well. Now, adding to it, let me tell you, on this virtual labs platform, you'll find three types of labs. Okay, basically the very first one is the modeling and simulation based lab. Now these are the labs in which what we have done, we have simply created a replica of the real life process. Say for example, we observe a color change in the acid base titration. Okay, or to be more precise, we observe a waveform on a CRO. So labs like this we call as modeling and simulation based labs. Also, we have the other type of labs that are known as measurement based labs. Now, these are the labs in which the user, they can enter their specific numerical value and will get the output in the numerical terms. So this particular lab is majorly measurement based labs. Now you see we have entered the values over here. Okay. Now we want to measure the voltage across it. We have a voltmeter. Click, drag and drop it over here, and simply measure the voltage across the resistor. So you can see, we can also see the exact numerical value. Okay. So similarly, what a KVL says, the algebraic sum of all the IR drops in a closed loop is equal to 0. So as a user, you can measure this particular voltage across the resistor, and if you just sum it up with the battery, the algebraic sum would be equal to 0. Now, if you want to put it back, this voltmeter, simply click and take it back to its place. Now we have this non-contact ammeter. Okay. Now in physical labs, we only have a contact ammeter, but over here, as it is virtual labs, so we have this non-contact ammeter that without making any connection, you can simply see the current flowing through a particular wire. Now, after it, we'll simply put it back. Now, I was telling you about the circuit option. See, for example, I want to just erase all this particular thing. What I'll do, I'll simply go for the circuit option and I'll click on the reset part. Now, I told you it provides a safe option for innovation. Okay, say for example, a student, you want to show a student that please do not try to short circuit a battery in the physical labs. Okay, and we do not allow the students to do anything in the physical labs because we are concerned for their safety as well as for the safety of the equipments. But over here, everything is virtually present so they can similarly see the results and can enhance their knowledge. So for example, I'll simply just make the connections. I'll try to short circuit a battery. and there would be a small animation over here that would be shown by the user. Now these kinds of things are available in each and every lab, okay? But remember, you can only see these things once you try something new, once you go out of the box and try to do something different. Then only it would be visible. Now also as a user, you can take a screenshot that whatever the readings you have observed, okay, in certain of the labs, you can take a screenshot that, okay, this is a particular reading that I have obtained. So for taking a screenshot, go over here on the top, we have this particular icon, save icon, click on it, and you can simply save this particular screenshot. Now the user started with the theory tab, okay, the user went what is KCL, what is KVL, then the user came to the procedure part, studied the procedure, then came to the simulator. In the simulator, please remember about the softwares. After performing the simulator, as it is developed in self-learning mode, so a user need to have answer these questions, self-evaluation questions. Sorry. So we have these certain questions over here. So for example, a student, these are very basic questions. They can select the options and click on the submit button. So if the answer would be right, they would be welcomed by a green tick. If not, they'll get a red cross. Then comes the assignment tab. Now there are certain assignment tabs in every lab. So what we have done, there are certain questions. So a user, they can simply practice out these questions. Last but not the least, we have the reference book tab. Now reference book tab will again give you the books which a user can refer to, even the web links are given. So please try to understand that the template will remain same in each and every lab, okay? If you go for the other disciplines as well, you'll find in each and every lab, there would be a theory tab, a procedure tab, a simulator tab, self-evaluation, and references. Also, once you are completely done with the particular experiment, please remember that after you are done, please close that particular tab. Do not come to this home option, because what will happen if you go for the home option over here, you'll only find few labs that are developed by Amrita University, and you won't be able to see a large bouquet of labs that are present on our central portal. So once performing the experiment, please close the tab. Okay. So now let us go for another lab. Now this was by Amrita University. Now let us see a lab by IIT Kharagpur. Say for example, we have this digital signal processing lab. Now you see, I clicked on digital signal processing lab. I have this introduction part. I have this list of experiments, frequently asked questions, people, technology use, and feedback. I'll click on list of experiments. Now again, I have a list of experiments in front of me. Say for example, let us start with the very first one, study of sampling theorem. See again, the template, as I told you, it would remain absolutely same. You have introduction part, you have the theory part over here, you have the procedure part, you can see. Now you see, in this particular lab, what we have done, we have taken the screenshots from the simulator window, and then we have put it over here in the procedure part. So as a user, you can see, okay, these are the things that would be visible to you into the simulator window. And this is how you need to make the connections. So let us go for the simulator part. Now see, once we go for the simulator part, it is just popping up a message that to browse the blocks, click on the browse blocks button on the top rightmost corner. But say for example, a user is still not cleared, okay? So you can observe a help button over here. Please click on that. Now, after you have clicked on it, you can see we have this small animation for the users where we are telling them that how to make this particular and how to complete this particular setup and how to take the answers. You can see, okay, I'll simply close it down. I'll go on browse blocks. I have the sign generator, the sampling block, the virtual scope. I'll simply go for sign generator. I'll click on it, scroll it down, and once again I'll click, and then it has been placed. Now I can enter my own parameters into it. So I want to enter the amplitude, I can do it, 12 volts, frequency you want to enter, Then click on OK. Now those parameters have values that you have entered is being fed into this sine generator. Then click on the sampling block. Again, place it over here. Now you see, now you can only enter the sampling frequency. The number of samples will automatically be doubled. For example, I entered just sampling frequency 20. The number of samples are automatically turned to 40. Now we have this virtual scope. Just simply place it over here. Okay, after that it says us that please connect sinusoidal signal generator block. Okay, now you see there's an endpoint. If I come over here, there's a pencil icon appeared. Click on that. Click to the other endpoint where you need to make the connection. Similarly, go on one endpoint of the sampling block, click, go for the other one, virtual scope. Similarly, we need to make one more connection. You can see. Again, remember, if your connection is not successfully completed, the wire, the color of this particular wire would turn into red. And if you just establish successfully, it will turn into black. Okay, so we'll simply start it again. Sine generator, take it over here, enter the values, take the sampling block, and after that simply take the virtual scope. Simply I'll quickly make the connections. Okay, now I'll click on the virtual scope. So you can see from over here as well, you can modify these parameters. So for example, I vary this frequency, and you can just observe the things that you observe in your physical lab file. Okay, also once you have a slider at the bottom, the number of samples can be obtained exactly if you just slide it out. Again, it gives you the option to take a snapshot. As told you earlier, after it, you need to again go for the quizzes tab and the reference tab. So for your better understanding. So this was the lab from digital signal processing from the electronics and communication discipline. Please remember, done with this particular lab, close the particular tab. Similarly, you have the other options, other labs. So you can simply explore these labs. Remember, apart from the basic softwares like Adobe Flash Player and the Java plugins, if any other specific software would be required by the user, a free downloadable link would be given by us on that particular simulator window only. So what I'll do, we are done with the EC part. I'll go for the home option and scroll it down, and let us go for, say for example, let us finish this electrical as well. Now we have this proliferation of labs. By the proliferation of labs, we means on a single concept, two different labs have been developed by different institutes, giving you a diversified content. Okay. Say for example, you have this electrical machines lab by IIT Roorkee. Scroll it down further, electrical machines lab by College of Engineering Pune. Scroll it down further, you have electrical machines by IIT Guwahati as well. Okay. So you see same concept, but different labs and different institutes have developed it. So for example, let us go for electrical machines. I click on that, scroll it down. Again, I have the list of experiments. I'll choose rotating magnetic field behavior. Again, you can see the introduction part. Okay, the introduction part is there, objective, procedure and all. Most of the, I can see a message that most of the pickup message was joined. Do you want me to start it again? Okay, no issues. So let us see, I'll conclude in the very end. Now we are performing right now the rotating magnetic field behavior in two coils. Again, introduction part is there, the theory part is there. Okay, in the theory part, you can simply understand the theory behind it. If you go for the procedure part, once you scroll it down, you can see again you have this video tutorial. Okay, simply click on that link over here, and there would be this YouTube link showing you that how to make the connections onto the simulator window. Please have a look. So I'll come back and go for this experiment part. So okay, see, right, you need to enable the Adobe Flash Player. Simply click on it, click on the allow option. Now you simply need to make the connections. We have this 2 wall sensor. Click on it, click on this channel 1, channel 2, wires to phase 1, then click on to phase 2, then the other ends to the neutral. Scroll it up, check connection. It says yes, your connection is right. So it is developed in self-learning mode. So at each and every step, we are trying to cater the user so that they could understand. Now after that, I'll simply select the channels. As told you in the video, simply switch on the MCB. Okay, just modify the parameters and you can see the mathematical representations, graph on the oscilloscope, everything is visible to the user. Now see, in this particular lab, it was developed by IIT Guwahati. In this, you can see the consent, see the results in this way. And if you go for the other 2 labs by electrical machine concepts by IIT Roorkee or College of Engineering Pune, you'll find a different and diversified content. So if your connection would have been wrong, it would have given you a message that you have made a wrong connection and please try again from the start. Remember, after you are completely done with this particular any of the experiments, answer the quizzes part. It is very important for you, so you can evaluate yourself. And after completing each and every tab, please close the particular tab over here. And again, you come back to the main home page over here. You have the bouquet of labs that are ready to use, and you can use from any of the labs you like. I'll come back to the main home page. Okay, so let me go for one of the applied sciences lab because I think most of the users have joined lately and they are unaware that how a login would work in many of the labs. So say for example, let me go for this chemical sciences discipline and let me just quickly show you one of the very basic concepts. I'll choose inorganic chemistry lab. I have this acid-base titration. Self-evaluation simulator, just to make you recall, these virtual labs have okay, so in the complete learning management system, you'll find each and everything that is required to learn and understand a particular concept. So go for the simulator part. Okay, let me just log out so that the users can see how to do it once again. Simulator. Okay, please everyone, I'll request attention of every user. So in certain of the labs, you might require to log in. So in that particular scenario, you would be having the 2 options. Okay, the very first option would be to freely sign up, and the next one would be login option. Now remember, you can simply log in using your, you can simply sign in using your own open ID such as Google IDs. So what I'm doing right now, I'll click on login option. And after that, I'll click on the Google link over here. Then I'll enter my credentials and then I'm taken to the simulator window. Okay, so please remember, once you click on the login option, click on the Google icon over there first of all, and then enter your credentials. Now this was the acid base titration. Okay, again you can see, let me maximize it. Now again we have the certain variables over here. You can select, you have a list to select from titrant. You can increase the speed of the drops once your experiment has been initiated. You can select the titrate. Normality of titrate, we have a slider. You can simply just modify the value. Same is the case with the volume of titrate. Then the indicators. So for visibility purpose, let us take phenolphthalein. And then what I'll do, I'll simply click on start. So you can see as soon as I click on start, the drops have started falling out. I'll simply increase the speed of the drops. And also you can see the exact numerical value over here. Now this lab is a combination of both modeling based labs and mission based labs. Why I'm saying it is a combination? Because I'm saying it is a modeling based labs, because in real life we observe a color change, and same color change is visible to us over here as well. Then let us come to the measurement base. Why I'm calling it a measurement based labs? Because you can see the exact numerical value over here. Now you see, if I click on the reset, let me just quickly change my parameters. Let me go for this indicator methyl red. Okay, and then I'll click on the start option. See, in certain of the labs where the things cannot be proceed with the selected parameters, it will give you a warning message, try again. Okay, now the answer to this particular query, that why this particular reaction cannot be completed, lies in the theory tab. So remember that each and every tab has its own importance. If you feel like that I can simply perform the simulator without going through the theory and procedure, I'm sorry to inform you, but you need to go through each and every step. Then only you can fully utilize the simulator part. So just for your if you need to answer these queries, HCl a strong acid, ammonia a weak base, indicators you have selected methyl red. If you go with the phenolphthalein, it would again get started. So this is how you need to simply log in into any of the experiments that are required to make sure you log in. And once you are logged in, you can simply click on the logout option at the top. And after that, please close that particular tab. Now, let us come to the main home option again. Okay, now we were done with the EC part and the electrical part. Now let us go with mechanical and CSC as well, and also the civil engineering. Now, say for example, let us start with the computer science and engineering. Now you can see there's a list of labs we are adding, trying to add new and new labs every day, trying to cover the as much gap areas are there. So for example, if you scroll it down, we have this lab, say data structures lab, developed by IIIT Hyderabad. Okay, click on list of experiments over here. You have, say, sorting using arrays. You have this merge sort over here. Click on that. Please remember to enable the flash player. I hope every participant can see my screen. If not, please just unmute your mic and please let me know. Okay, so this is a merge sort over here. You have the best case. Okay, you have the worst case, and then you have the random entry. Now I hope if you want to know what is a merge sort, we have the theory option over here. You can simply go to the theory, refer to the theory, and you can learn it out. So what I'll do, I'll simply enter the random values. And after that, we'll see. I'll press enter. Now, most of the users, they're very well aware that, okay, the merge sort, it works on the principle of divide and conquer. So just for the sake of the visualization, because actions have louder impact than words, so the user, they would quickly remember it. Click on the play button over here. You can see dividing into two equal parts. Then you compare the elements. Replacing the array, whatever thing is happening over there, it's been told to you just below it. Now again, it will again compare the elements, and at last you'll get a full sorted array. So with the help of this, you can just quickly recall if you just want to know what is merge sort and all. Okay, so we have a sorted array with us. Simply close it down. Again, you can go for quick sort, insertion sort. Then you have the objective and theory as discussed earlier. Simply close it down. Now see data structures lab. Now we have added again, we have added one more data structures lab in the new lab, so that we have added more sorted sort the techniques, more sort, okay, like bubble sort and all, so that you can learn from that. Now we have this say particular lab, computer programming lab. Okay, if I click on computer programming lab, I have now a slight change in the template view. So the particular experiments are written over here. Say for example, I'll simply choose strings. I have the introduction, the theory, everything is given, the objective, manual, procedure, further readings. Scroll it up. At the very top, you can see there's an icon over here. Okay, looks like a play icon. Click on that. Now we have the simulation for string comparison or string matching. I'll choose string matching. So what do I have? I have the problem number 1 and 2. I have stepwise execution and I have this code output. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll simply just initialize the strings. Let us say the very first string be holiday and the other one would be day. I click on OK, and my start option is highlighted. Click on start. You can see the main is being highlighted over here in the step execution. Now what I'll do, I'll click on next, next, next. You'll see the step execution will follow, and there would be a change in the code output as well. Please observe. So I'm clicking on next, next, next. You can see as soon as it comes to scanf, in the code output in the memory, it has been, the two strings are there, holiday and day. Click on next. So just in a layman language for a user, you want to make sure, okay, what is happening according to this particular if loop or that loop, that thing can be seen with the help of this particular lab. And obviously you see holiday is our first string, day is our second string. Obviously day is found in holiday. So that is what you can simply learn. So after comparing, you see it says, it gives you the output that the string 2 is found in string 1. Now see this particular lab, it was going stepwise execution. Okay, now you have another lab, and I hope everyone will perform it on their own. We have this problem solving lab. Okay, in this particular lab, a complete code, you need to write it down and then you'll get the output. Whereas in the computer programming lab, what was happening, stepwise execution was happening, and you were able to see that what are the changes in the output. Now one more lab, let me show it to you. We have this image processing lab. So I click on image processing lab. I have the list of experiments. Say let us go with image arithmetic, objective, introduction, theory, procedure, everything. Directly come to the experiment part. Please remember Adobe Flash Player and Java plugins, they must be enabled in your system. Now the very first step, select image. I click on that. I have a mosaic with me. Say I'll have select image of the actress Katrina Kaif. Okay, after that you can select the operation you want to perform on it: addition, subtraction, difference, multiplication, division. You can even select your secondary image, whether it be dull, bright, or gradient. Say let us, I'll go with bright. I'll select the operation addition and the fitting be clipping, and I click on run. So you see it was our primary image, the secondary image was bright. We have performed the operation of addition, and this is how we are getting the processed image. So right now I'm showing you the various way with the help of which you can perform all these labs. Okay, so please understand this particular methodology, that what are the various steps you need to follow and how you can explore all the different labs over here. Now please close this particular tab. Then you have the various other labs like software engineering, VLSI. Then we have machine learning, computer graphics, okay, PHP lab as well. So as a user, you can please explore these particular labs and follow the same steps that I have shown to you. Now let me come to the main home page again, and let me go for the lab, say mechanical engineering. Now, in the mechanical engineering, we have the various labs, like you have mechanics of machine, metal forming, vibration and acoustics, then even you have this fabrication lab and all. Okay. So, for example, let us go with the vibration and acoustics lab. After that, click on the list of experiments over here. So you have these experiments. Say, let me go with the second experiment, impact test. Again, see AM theory simulator. Simply go for the simulator part. I'll simply click over here. So you can see it is just been loaded. Yeah. So we have this particular setup over here. We have this impact hammer. We have the accelerometer. We have this control panel over here. So in this particular lab, say for example, you want to just modify and enter your own values, you can do that. Say right now I'm selected on width. I'll simply just modify it. Okay. I'll click on the calculate. So according to these values, you have the answers. And now you want to see what is the formula that have been used. So you can simply refer to the formula option and it will tell you that which formula is being used. Okay. Now you see we have this impact hammer and over here you can select the node. So for example, I'll select the node 4. So my impact hammer will move to the node 4. Please observe. And after that, I click on hit the hammer option. Okay. So in the vibration analyzer, you can see the response. So our main aim to perform this particular experiment is to find the first two natural frequencies. Okay. So you mostly have all these numerical values with you. You can simply find it out, or otherwise, if you are unable to find it out, you can simply click on the calculate option over here, and you can see the exact numerical values. So again, this lab, a combination of both modeling based as well as the measurement based labs, because exact numerical values are being shown to us over here. Close the tab. Again, you can answer the questions, review questions. Now, okay. Now come to this metal forming lab. Now, this particular lab is very important as if you see in the point of view from the mechanical engineering discipline, because there are various processes and you need to make sure that the student understands and is able to visualize those particular processes. Okay. So if I go for this home option, I have the basic things about metal forming, the applications, steps of forming process variables and all. Then you have the equipments. Then I have the processes. Say let us go for the extrusion part. Okay. So what is extrusion? With the help of these two videos, it has been told to the user. Scroll it down. Theory has been given over here, so that the user, they can simply go through the theory and they can understand it. Now after that comes the simulation bench. Now we have simulation bench for aluminium as well as for titanium. I'll choose simulation bench for aluminium. Now over here, okay. Over here we have the parameters. So you can simply select audio. Now I'll simply click on the submit button. So according to those parameters, there would be a video. So this visualization is going on the top according to the parameters that you have selected, and again a small theory description is also given for you. Now then comes the other part, comparative simulation. So it is only present in this metal forming lab where you can simply compare between the two simulations. Okay, we have the three cases over here. Select any of the cases and simultaneously two simulations will be going on. Then comes the best part is the applications. Okay, now for example, the extrusion process is used in making a golf stick, but how that particular process is also being explained to the user over here. So this is purely this modeling based labs where we have these animations and all, and with the help of those animations we are trying to make sure that the students they are means able to learn and understand this particular concept. So lastly, we have certain special cases as well. So you can refer to these special cases, and at the end you have self check quiz. So one thing I would like to add, that please remember that virtual labs do not intend to replace the physical labs. They are the complementary add-on, because if we talk about the user experience, so the user experience which the physical labs gives in the real-time environment, so that thing virtual labs cannot give. But yes, virtual labs can enhance your knowledge, and in this particular scenario where we are unable to access to our physical labs, so it can be used so that we could enhance our practical knowledge skills. Now coming back to the main homepage, so we have almost tried to cover each and every discipline. Apart from that, let me tell you now, if you are willing and if you found that, okay, many of the labs or the experiments are not present according to our own curriculum, okay, so in that case, what you can do, you scroll it down at the very bottom part, we have this email ID support@vlab.co.in. We on our behalf are trying very hard to cover as much and develop as much experiments that we can, but still if there are certain gap areas, you can simply put up a mail to us on support@vlab.co.in, simply expressing your queries. Also, if you are accessing any of the labs and if you face any problem at any time, simply drop a mail to us on this particular email ID. Remember to attach a screenshot of the problem that you are facing. Okay. And also, if you have many of the users, if they are willing that how a new virtual labs can be developed by them as a college, as a nodal center, how they can develop a lab. So for that, they can simply refer to this particular tab, new lab development, and we have all the options over here. Now, one more thing before just calling it a day, let me just show you the other disciplines like physical science and civil engineering as well. So let me go for the civil engineering lab. Okay. Now, for example, over here you have say we have this particular lab, okay, transportation engineering lab developed by NIT Karnataka. Now you have this list of experiments over here. Select the experiment. So these are the new labs that are rolling out. And after that, what I'll do, we have the aim, we have the theory, pre-test, procedure. Go for the procedure part. Okay, again, the screenshots have been taken from the simulator window, and we have made sure that the user understand that what is happening and what are the steps they need to follow. So these same steps as a user you need to perform into the once you reach to the simulator window. You can see it over here. So this is how you can also perform the lab from the civil engineering domain. You can simply select as told to you, click on the next option. It again says gives you an arrow and all. So by following all those steps in the procedure part, you can simply obtain your results and you can successfully perform this particular experiment as well. So that was all about the introduction part to the virtual labs. Just to recall and to make sure every user understand, let me quickly brief you at the one last time. The virtual labs is an initiative of MHRD. These are the labs that are not physically present, but they have the same characteristics, same attribute of the physical labs. Remember, one-stop solution, you can access all the experiments by simply typing the URL, that is www.vlab.co.in. Okay, so as soon as you type the vlab.co.in, this is our main homepage. Over here you have the home option, about us, our newsletters, becoming a nodal center, the outreach portals. Scrolling it down further, these are the broad areas in which mostly labs have been developed. So if you want to access to any of these labs, simply select the discipline. After selecting the discipline, for example, let us go for physical science. Now, after you select the particular discipline, you would be having the list of labs. Select any list of labs, any particular lab you want to perform. Remember, for each and every lab, there would be the corresponding name of the institute that has developed it, and also the options of reference book and syllabus mapping. Addingly, we have also added the NPTEL video lectures. I already told you about the login option. In few of the labs, you might require to log in. You would be having the two options for that. Either you can freely sign up, or you can simply sign in using your open ID, such as Google IDs. Also, remember about the software, Adobe FlashPlayer and the Java plugins, and following all the procedures, every tab you can simply perform and simply, while sitting at your home safely, perform all these experiments, and you can enhance your knowledge. So with this, I would like to call it a day. This is all from my end. Thank you for giving your time and listening patiently. Now, if you have any queries, I would be happy to answer. So do we have any queries?
Yeah, hello, Pratik sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, I'm Rajnish Patel. Sir, I have a query. Sir, in this current scenario, some of our students don't have a laptop at their homes. So can we use this virtual lab through mobile phone or
Okay,
not?
a very good question. A very good question. A question is that, can these virtual labs be accessed on the smartphones? Let me give an answer to that. So not all the labs can be accessed on the smartphones. Okay, few of the labs can be accessed on the smartphones, but not in each and every lab. So as a result, I would recommend that 70% of the labs can only be accessed through this particular personal system or laptop, and 30% of the labs can be accessed through the smartphones. But yes, the
Smart.
queries that most of the students are facing, we are trying to just develop so that most of the labs should be compatible in the smartphones as well. But right now, it is not that all of the labs would be available to the user on the smartphones.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Yadav sir. Hello, Yadav sir.
So do we have any further queries?
Hello.
Yes, please.
Anybody any queries? Just I want to conclude session. Myself, Dr. R.K. Yadav. On the behalf of the RKJIT Institute, I'd like to thank Mr. Pratik Sharma for giving a nice presentation. Also, I would like to thank Mr. Tanmay Tarun Das from the Virtual Lab IIT Delhi for giving us the opportunity to be a model center at RKJIT Hyderabad. I would like to thank my team members, my faculty members, my students, and management at RKJIT for giving us the opportunity. And I would also like to thank Mr. Vaibhav Sharma and Rajnish Patel for organizing all this event. Thank you, Pratik, once again. Thanks by all of the heart. You are given the very excellent presentation today, and we are very happy, and the students are getting benefit of this, definitely. Thanks a lot. Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone. Please stay safe. That would be all from Virtual Labs. Greeting from Virtual Lab. Thank you.